Hello guys, this is GQ Talks Football. Welcome back to another video where we'll talk about football generally and also Chelsea Football Club. There's a ton load of things to talk about, but I know that our time is so valuable, so that I will try as much as I can to just do a touch and go conversation so that you guys just have a glimpse of an idea of what is going on at our football club. Today is the Champions League day. Atletico Madrid playing Barcelona, and then PSG playing Liverpool. Yesterday, we saw Bayern Munich trashing Real Madrid 2-1. Surprisingly so. And Arsenal, through the teeth, struggled to just go with a 1-0 win over Sporting Lisbon. So, back to today's news. Before we go on, if you're new here, please encourage this dude by liking the video, share the video, and most importantly, please try to subscribe. You can still do the same on TikTok and on Instagram at GQ Talks Football. Now to the things we have to talk about today. We're talking from Valentin Barco, who has gotten a personal agreement with Chelsea. And then it seems like Alejandro Garnacho will be leaving Chelsea just after a season. And then we're looking at Enzo Fernandez. There seems to be a price tag on his head right now. And it's almost likely that the deputy captaincy is leaving his hand to no other than Moises Caicedo. So that's and a whole lot to talk about. Like I did say, I would try my best to see that I will do a touch and go, video so that we don't spend so much time. Right straight into today's discussion. Valentin Barco. Right now, Valentin Barco has signed, in quote and unquote, a pre-agreement with Chelsea where personal agreement has been met. There seems to be a stipulated amount that is still quite speculative, about 40 million euros. And that is because that amount of money was set because Brighton will be getting some amount, actually quite a chunk of amounts, after the sale or the buying of Valentin Barco from Strasbourg. Apart from Brighton getting some money, right now, it seems like Sevilla will be getting some money as well. But I think probably just about £100,000 for that of Sevilla. So that isn't quite much. But Brighton will be getting quite a bit more. Actually more. So right now, a 6-year deal has been pre-agreed by Valentin Barco. One of the reasons why Chelsea jumped into this as soon as they can, that's because Valentin Barco has choices, at least one very prominent choice, which is Bayern Munich, pushing their luck to see that they get his signature. And Valentin Barco right now would also be representing Argentina come this year's World Cup at America, Canada, and Mexico. So there is a tendency, if he puts in a good shift, more suitors will come, and that might sway the head of Valentin Barco. So Chelsea they don't want to find themselves in a very precarious situation. So that's why they jumped on it. Valentin Barco in himself is not a bad player. I said it in my previous videos. But I also did say, is Valentin Barco the player that Chelsea really needs right now? I think they are putting him on the line because it is most likely Enzo Fernandez is walking out the door. Hold that thought about Enzo Fernandez. We'll get to him in just a couple of seconds. So Valentin Barco right now seems to be someone that would most likely be replacing Enzo Fernandez, whom I think will be leaving Chelsea, and most likely Andre Santos as well will be walking out the door. But fingers crossed, we'll see if that comes to pass. Valentin Barco is an amazing player, And I think that this move also has been initiated and or supported by Liam Rossinior, who sees Valentin Barco as a key player to his tactics. Valentin Barco understands his tactics and his style of play to the letter. So the ownership tries to make us feel like this purchase was strongly advised and pushed for by Liam Rossinior, making us, the fans, to think that the coach now actually have a say when it comes to the transfer market. But you and I know deep down, these guys, Blue Co, actually call the shots. They buy whomever they want, and then they hand the player over to you, and you make do. They just buy, give to you, you the gaffer, cook with the guys you have. I don't see how that works when it comes to the top teams like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Barcelona, and the likes. So let's see what happens. Like I said, Valentin Barco in himself seemed to have rediscovered himself. Right now, Brighton and Sevilla probably will be biting their fingers, just giving up on him so soon, because there is really an emerging talent in Valentin Barco. But let's see what happens, and let's see if he comes to Chelsea, if he would cook. But there is also a speculation that most likely he might not come to Chelsea come next season. They will sign him and still loan him back to Strasbourg for probably one more season before he makes his way back to Chelsea. But let's see what happens. Keep your eyes glued to this particular information, and we'll see how it unfolds. To the next news, Alejandro Garnacho. Just in one football calendar year, someone who pushed his way through from Manchester United to Chelsea, right now, this ownership, they are looking at selling him, to cash out on him already. As a matter of fact, they did say that they are expressing some regrets buying him in the first place. I'm happy that they are not so proud to even admit regretting buying Garnacho. For me personally, I think that the money spent on Alejandro Garnacho, Gittins, and even Liam Delap is relatively a waste of money. One, maximum two solid players with the amount they spent on these trios would have given us something better. But that's not the bane of the conversation right now. Alejandro Garnacho, come next season, most likely is out of the door. Because right now, the ownership are saying they are looking at cashing out on him, and they are hoping to sell him at the same amount, if not a little bit higher, when it comes to the money that they spent on him in the first place. And I think that's where this model comes in, because these guys, this ownership, they're trying to play a smart one. They have learned their mistakes from the likes of the inherited player in Romelu Lukaku, who was earning ton shitload of money, about 315, if not more, £1,000 weekly, and then Raheem Sterling. And letting go of these players was really a tussle for them. They don't want to find themselves in such dilemma no more. That is why they are doing this incentivized kind of payments, wage structure kind of payments, salaries, and all those bullshits that they are doing, so that they don't find themselves in such situations they found themselves with Raheem Sterling and Romelu Lukaku. So right now, what they try to do is to look for a market opportunity, buy players who are not so expensive, so to speak, try to experiment, see if they can, walk around or build on that player, and then if it doesn't work, you're out of the door with similar amounts you're purchased for and or a little more. These guys, they are like Baba Ijebu. In my local lingua where I come from, they're like Baba Ijebu, because they want to see that even if they buy 10 players, for example, 20 million pounds across board, if they can sell you even for 500,000 pounds, or 21 million or 22 million, they don't care, they don't mind, it's still profits. They are looking at the turnovers, just 500k, 1 million, 2 million. They're just gathering all the profits they can possibly make. But you don't run a proper elite and a world standard football club this way. I hope they realize this soon. If not, we as Chelsea fans all over the world, we're still screaming, Blue Co, get out. So tell me what you think. Should they give Alejandro Garnacho more time? Because to be honest, that dude hasn't actually been having enough playing time. Not like he has proven himself in the number of times he has played, but he's a young lad, 21 years if I'm not mistaken. So I think he needs consistent playing time. And that is why personally I think himself and his agents should look at him going to the likes of Italy and maybe Spain, La Liga. I think he would cook there. If you ask my own personal opinion as GQ, I would say Alejandro Garnacho should be loaned to Strasbourg for a season or two with consistent game time. There might be a world-class player in that guy. So tell me what you think in the comments below about Alejandro Garnacho. Should Chelsea loan and or sell him, or we should still give him some playing time? But I think this move is being made because of Kenda that is coming in next season. So either Alejandro Garnacho and or Gittins have to leave to create the space for Kenda that is coming next season. Now, up to the next news. Enzo Fernandez. It seems right now that there's a price tag on Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea is saying, some news are saying that they won't take anything less than £150 million. And other news saying that at the very least, £130 million. They are trying to cash in on Enzo Fernandez. And Enzo Fernandez and his agents are in a very, very good position. Because right now, they are claiming they are trying to strike a deal with Chelsea where he's going to have an increment in salary and just, an improved wage structure, an improved, deal. And this ownership, I don't think they would want to do that. And if they do not do that, it becomes a very sweet, legit, and an open avenue for Enzo and his camp to walk out the door, keeping their faces before the Chelsea fans and all over the football lovers in the world that, oh, I want to stay at Chelsea, but I'm a star boy, I'm a World Cup winner, and I always push for the 4 seasons I've been there. So Chelsea seem to not have so much ambition when it comes to the Premier League, Champions League, and the likes. And I'm an ambitious player. I want to go elsewhere to win silverware and where I will be paid ton shit loads of money. And you wouldn't blame him if you were Enzo Fernandez. I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't. So right now, if Chelsea doesn't improve his salary as they are requesting or an improved contract, Enzo and his agents, they are walking out the door. And right now, we don't know if Real Madrid will want to go in for him with the likes of Camavinga and Tchouaméni. But right now, it seems like Camavinga is going to walk out the door because there's already speculation that he's saying he would like to leave. But let's see what happens. Right now, Enzo Fernandez is yet to drop a transfer request to Chelsea. But tell me what you think, because in that light, I'm going to correlate the news about Enzo Fernandez and that of Moises Caicedo. Because right now, there is also news from one of the reporters or journalists in Argentina that the Chelsea players are pushing for Enzo Fernandez ban to be lifted, that they need him for the Manchester City game. But I don't think the ownership will do this because it will make them appear weak. Placing a ban on a player and then lifting it again, it will make them appear weak. And in that light, right now, our game against Manchester City, Moises Caicedo is going to be the captain. And that is because our main captain in Reece James is still out injured. So right now, Moises Caicedo is the deputy captain. I don't think only for this Manchester City game, but I think going forward for games that he's going to feature in, pending when Reece James is back. What do you think? Do you think Moises Caicedo is the best choice? Or do you think they should hand over the captaincy back to Enzo Fernandez? Personally, I'm a big fan of forgiving people. I am big on forgiveness. I've forgiven him and I expect Chelsea fans to forgive him. Not like he did anything wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's fighting for his future, for his career. But what I mean by forgiving him is because he probably should have done this maybe at the end of the season, or I don't know the better time really, or the best time to do this. But the angle I'm coming from is why he shouldn't be given the captaincy or the deputy captaincy is because his head has shifted. And we need a captain whose head, mind, soul, and spirit, including body, heart, and mind, is with Chelsea. Someone who wants to fight to see somehow we qualify for the Champions League miraculously, maybe by winning the FA Cup. I don't know how that's going to be. We're playing Leeds, thankfully. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen in football. And then, or if we can make top four. Personally, on the grounds of the fact that we need a captain whose mind, heart, body, heart, soul, and spirit is with Chelsea, then they shouldn't give him the captaincy band anymore. So, but then, I think it's a very strong figure in the dressing room and in the whole Chelsea team. So tell me what you think. This video is already taking longer than I wanted it to, because I know a whole lot of us who watch YouTube don't like spending so much time watching videos. 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 13, 14 minutes, I know. I tried, but there's a whole lot to talk about, and I try to fuse everything into this time frame. Please excuse me. I'll try not to wait for so much news to come up. I'm pursuing certain things in my personal life, but please, let's have some interactions. Comments. Let's have a conversation about what you think in all this aforementioned news. And then like, share, most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification button so that anytime GQ, your guy, comes here to talk about football generally or Chelsea football, you will get the notification. I appreciate those the few people who have subscribed so far. I won't forget those who start this journey with me. I personally am a big fan of Unistock Football, Nini, that's Blue Lions TV, and George Benson, football channel. These are my big fans. I watch them all the time. So I hope you guys would also encourage me. Soon, I hope to maybe feature one of them, probably Eunice, in one of my videos. I'm working on that, and I hope that comes to fruition. I don't mind flying to Dubai to see him. So Eunice, I'm coming for you. So thank you guys. Until next time, this is GQ Talks Football. One love. Let peace reign in the world. Yes, peace is primus. Until next time, peace out.